Alright, hello everybody, and hello to Clive's massive face. But yeah, we're going to do those side quests today, and there's another one that showed up here, making amends. Woo! So that's like 8 to do now. Let's do it.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
A tale to tell. Let's do it. Hello, Hippocrates.
Lawsman Hippocrates. I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him, and I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
Oh, I will, so we're going to go look for a flower again. It's been a while. And this is it, I believe. All the way over here. Yeah, what's the quickest way? Yeah, it'd just be that. Alrighty. Time to go across that long bridge. Did I ever go that way? Is that walkable? No. Alright, and this is where those purple things were. Hello. Oh no, it's not blue, it's... Oh, sorry, not purple, it's blue. Well, it's technically purple, but it's named blue. Ow. Oh. Ow. Hehe. Ow. Okay, not hehe. Got me. Ah!
Too slow.
Gotcha. I don't feel the need to use my abilities for this last little bit because you're gonna die. And there we go. Onwards to the flower. Oh, thank you. Haha.
It's over. All yours, Torgal.
There we go. Nice. More birds. Well, I need the experience. And if I could make it to 50 before out for the final fight, that'd be fantastic. Oh, this is the purple one. Cute.
I needed that.
Bondaga.
Fire and flame!
Oh, there's two of them. Didn't see that one. Ugh, ow, ow. Ow, you bastard. Trying to protect your friend. Well, he did. Ow. Ow. Gotcha. Pulling out all the stops. Yeah. Good night. Oh, another one! Oh my lord. Well, I said I wanted the experience. Aha. Aha. Let's have some of this. Get that health back up. Ugh. Gotcha. 2,800, that's not bad, but the level I am at barely budges.
Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find. This won't be easy.
Literally right where this thing is. They just really want me to do these fights. Ow. Just in time for some lightning. You're almost dead already, mate. Ta-da! Nice.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Right, back I go. Right, I'm back.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
Well, it has the name, so...
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
Just gonna say, is he here? Just quickly stock up.
Clive, if you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You'll not find a better price than that.
Right. Right here.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
Now. It is time, then.
No, only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right.
He said that without moving his
At
lips.
least offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
It's not that hard to find.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Thought so. It's going to go on the little memory shelf. And Bahamut's Fury reduces the cooldown while I don't use Bahamut. Sadly. I mean, I could again, but it's the charging crap again. That's freaking thing. Go right to the next one.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many, but in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes, but such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
If that is your wish.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
What I'll quickly do is activate the other one on the reading table. Because why not? Just gonna say if there's another.
What is it this time, Torgal?
Bum, bum. On the red docks.
Say what you will. Lady Karen has seen our...
Pining for something, boy? What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you?
It's got to come off at some point, just to look.
You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
All right.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
All right. Literally right here. Nice. Oh, a box.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy.
Ooh, don't like that.
I wasn't being serious. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you.
Wasn't much of a race.
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
Oh.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either.
Another thing for the chambers.
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going.
Nice view.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Nice. Yep, charred sparring sword. That increases Torgal's attack potency again. Yeah, maybe all these side quests will slowly fill up my entire thing. Yeah, haven't I already? No, I don't need to. It's just thing automatically applied. That's the sand. It's here. Three's Company. Bearing in mind if there isn't any more on the table, one. So one here. Two. 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's if there's no more there by the time I'm done.
Do you see that too?
Oh, hello, Jack Sarah. Yeah, I'm good.
Just make it stop. Make it stop.
How are you?
Scared.
I don't normally get people watching. Cool Ambrosia, let's go for a ride. Nice. No, fuck off, I don't care for you birds right now, go away. There's a time and a place for you, so I'll deal with you later. Yeah, depending on the lengths, hopefully I finish all these in relatively fine time. I don't want to go over 3 hours with this. I've done like, what, 3 or 4 of around 3 hour streams with this.
Rutherford, can it?
Go back to the Phoenix first, because that beast.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
Damn right.
You're
And with
right.
the strongest sword in the first
It
playthrough,
won't.
mate.
Men, finish him.
Always do the opener. It just leaves 2. Nope, 4. So only just saw the ones over there. I'll save the rest of my stuff. Actually, no. Fuck yous.
Farewell.
There we go. Wouldn't die. Enemy slain. And got all the usuals.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm.
Thank you very much.
And he needs your help to see it
After
through.
I do the streams, they go up on my
Before I agree
YouTube,
to anything,
because that's how I do my YouTube videos.
I'd have you answer one
So all the
question.
other parts are on there.
What do you stand
Yeah,
to
thank you very
gain from
much.
all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right.
See
But
if
in
I can
order to
actually put
take it,
anything.
we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that
Oh,
I can
fucking
bully
got
some
four
sense into a
watching
few
there.
generals.
Not sure if
But
that'll...
those they
Oh no,
answer
that's
to
work, that's
require a
clickable, but
different
yeah,
kind of
there's the
persuasion.
YouTube channel if you
When
want
it
to
comes to
subscribe to
honeyed
that.
words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to.
Exactly, I got
What we
like
need
6
is a
side
skilled
quests to do,
arbitrator.
then it's the end
And I may
chapter.
not just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
Bye.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
At least it wasn't as long as other cutscenes that go for like 9 minutes.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
And where's he at these days? The new Lost Wing. Gauntlet Bales, that's right. All the way over here. Yep. After all this got flooded. I'm glad I don't actually have to properly be here anymore, because I always found this place a bit confusing. Always got lost. It's like just like I am now, I'm getting lost. Let's go back to where I was. I hate this area. This area sucks. Go back to where I was and go up those stairs. Or the ramp. No, I don't use Discord. I haven't for ages. I did use it when my friend wanted me to use it, but that's about it. I haven't had it in ages. I could start. It's single player game, is it? I think it's only a one player game. I've only got single player games on the PlayStation at the moment. Most of my multiplayer games are on the Xbox. But I have to talk to them. Hello, Quentin.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking.
Yep.
How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving. Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that,
Alright.
who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel.
Either way, maybe I
wants to
should
speak with you in
start
person.
saying the...
He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long.
Yeah, I still think maybe I should promote the channel at the end of saying, make sure to click and like thing when it goes up on YouTube stuff. Maybe I should do that because I can't really do it any other way apart from the description on the videos when they upload. Turn to the hideaway and speak to Byron. Oh, you're right there, nice.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
I was going to say, is that the end of the fucking thing? Alright, back at the manor. Nice.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
How many have we done? 2 or 3 side quests, and there's still like 6 or 7 to go, and we're at almost at an hour.
Approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
But yeah, I counted them back in my head, and this is the 3rd side quest. There's so many more. Do.
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
that it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
There we go. Nice. Done. Okay, we're at in the thing. Another chamber thing, and Heaven's Cloud thing. That's the Odin.
What do you think that thing is? And how
So look, no, it's not there yet. I'll have to look at see what the number is again. It's close, that's all I know. See, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit. Five. Maybe I only have 5 left. Oh, it's 5. I have 5 remaining. Okay. Guess. Do you think we can get that done in just under 3 hours? Just because we're at an hour now and did 3.
How may I help you today, Clive?
28.50. I'm 10 off. Are you fucking joking?
Come again.
10
May I have
off.
more for you?
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse Breakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
Yeah.
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Alright, time to prioritize that bitch.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Alright. Just like yesterday, we're going to Northreach. Northreach was a hot spot yesterday. 2 hunts and that side quest.
Nazir might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Hello.
Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
Bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Yeah, I noticed that, but it's fine.
Isn't our best scout because he can do everything.
Back in the day, I'd like people join for like 5 minutes and then out, but still, it's nice for interaction, as little as it is. I can go back to mainly commentating anyway.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way.
Okay.
All right, Ember. Impressed me.
Alright, how do I get up here? Nope. Fuck. Is that a bridge? Yeah, alright. Well, in the future, I can't exactly say is that a... I'm guessing if I said is that a bot, it wouldn't be a bot, but anyway. It's the past now, let's move on and get these side quests done. Is he following me? Or is he meeting me there? Hello. Well, I still think that final fight next time will be like 6 hours long. Nice. Here's the turn off. There, okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, I passed it. Alright. Won't it be nice when I do the next series? I'll be going from all this craggy stuff to just a city. Get to go around a city and it's just flat most of the time. Just buildings. It'll be fantastic.
Or maybe not. Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
What does that name say? Tot Avis? What kind of fucking name is that?
Nice try.
Take that. Oh, whoops, wrong one.
Too slow.
Get the fuck out of here. Ow! Bastard. Gotcha!
Ember, are you...
Where is he?
Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
Yep. Oh, wrong thing. Oh, fuck. There we go. But yeah, I'm pretty certain he doesn't have what it takes to be a scout. He freaked, didn't draw his sword, and he ran away like a bitch.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
What do you think? Do you think he's worth having? Because he went and did the thing while I was distracting the beast. When I thought he just ran away like a B-word, like a bitch.
There's something about it.
You should have seen.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not.
I don't know. I mean, he did it on his own. He came back, but again, I had to take care of the beast. Yes, I guess he can probably improve his confidence.
Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conk and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
So is there going to be trial and error too?
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things rarely do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
Done. Alright. Now that's grabbable.
help you today, Clive? Here you are.
Careful Whisper trophy unlocked. Nice, so I've gotten all of them.
All done?
Let's have a little gander at me chambers. So how many is left here? 4.
Oh,
damn.
Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How? Where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but would you join me?
Of course.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Let's quickly gander at the thing. I doubt there's anything new to craft. So how many's missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7's missing. So it's by thing. The quill. And the accord. Nice, it's slowly filling up. Just quickly have a peek, and highly doubt it, but just see.
First the skies, then the crystal.
So what do I owe the honour? So will it be?
No. No. Yeah, I can reinforce. It's worth it. No, no. I get all these cool crafty items, but it doesn't show me anything to craft them with. See it where there's a will.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous. Cyril, you found a letter from Father? Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
My beloved sons, I know that I ask much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet, even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the blight still looms. And only with all Rosera striving as one might we at least overcome it. Whatever. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue our work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you.
An inheritance?
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
To the archive.
My lord, Your Grace.
Pardon me.
I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more. What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these, works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you. Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Right, time to go slay a griffin.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But
boom.
Faster!
Damn it!
Joshua.
I can't change the thing. I keep thinking I can change the thing while on Ambrosia. Oh, that's it. We're already here.
There it is.
For House Rosfield.
Witch's Ladder. Ow. It has no proper weak spot, because I was going to say, because none of things are showing yellow. Gotcha. So I'm guessing with this Heartstone thing I'm going to have a new band or something to equip. Because I know for that can't be a sword because this is the strongest, so it's got to be like a wristband or a glove or something. Ah, we got it's a pulse thing. Damn it. I've almost killed it. Can you just die, please? Just willingly die.
Nice try.
Gotcha. Most of my finishing move on an enemy is the pile drive. Here we go.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Oh, whoops. Alright, I'm back.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain now?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
Nice.
The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Yay.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
Let's talk to Cyril now. Just exit, okay.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Yes. First is that thing equipped. Whatever it was. What was it? I forgot to see what one it was. Was it the Vambrace things? Yeah, it's those. So my health goes up and my defense goes down. And then that's got nothing better than that. Alright. So where's the thing again? It's elsewhere. Yep, there.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the
You
world?
know what I feel like killing?
Of course. We've overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
So I have to actually go across that way. Shing shing. There's a lot of them. Gotcha. I don't think I'm going to level up by the end. There's so much to get through for that bar. So you're down and around. Oh, is it this? Almost went past it.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
Oh, okay.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Boom. Is there really a point of that thing going up anymore? Because I've done everything in that place. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with them until departing for Origin. Okay. Well, where do I need to go? I got 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, there's another one here. Ugh. And then there's the one here. Do this one. Of course, there always has to be another one at the damn reading table. There's no winning.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers?
But you know what I'm intrigued in that I kind of want to look up?
I think we'd better shut up shop.
Who can say what Lubor is plotting?
Where's the shop again here?
Anything I can interest you in?
Just these.
Here you are.
I'll look it up after the stream, not right now. See how many side quests are actually in the game in total.
The bastard's been lying to us.
Fuck, I'll do it well in a cutscene.
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, two, in fact.
If it's within my power to help you, I will.
Okay, there's a total of 76.
I refuse to let them share in my disgrace.
And I don't know how much I've done.
They surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe and provided for and loved. The Hideaway.
Of course. The children would be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lubor, are you still here?
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned, and they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another.
That's my cue.
The town guard won't stand a chance against them. We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else. Wish me luck.
What, I don't get to fight them? I have to warn people? Same two that squabble all the time.
What's an
You have to listen to me. They're coming.
Why do they always have to make such a...
Huh? What's the commotion?
Ah, it's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak. You may believe his lies, my lord, but we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
You may not trust me, but for the sake of your people, ask yourselves if there is any chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Be off with you.
Fuck you then, shoot yourself, you're gonna die.
You're making a mistake.
Yeah, and I don't care. Become a Akashic for all I care.
If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
They're so just caught up on their ideals and frickin' morals.
Raving about now.
Lord Ferda.
Sid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they wouldn't listen. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted.
The bloody fools.
Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Sid! Ferda! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need. And Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
You have to believe me. The Akashic are coming. They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't tire. And they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There will be no parley, no mercy granted. We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me.
If you do not run, you will die.
You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
It's you who should run!
What the fuck?
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far away!
Run!
Just go
on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes! Go!
Come on, then.
Go on! Go!
Just go.
Lubor, wait. Someone's coming.
Go! Come on!
Stop! You're hurting him!
What the fuck?
What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad? And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that? Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty? Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly around here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever. But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling? He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist.
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
It's a shame how it took kids to convince them. It's
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage, and they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalamil at all costs. Conrad, Can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Cheratina itself. The main host is most likely still there, and Dalimil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalimil.
Looks like
Time
everyone's ready.
to kill.
I'd better not keep them waiting.
Fuck. Come on, there we go.
Come on.
Faster!
Oh, shit.
Good. That will keep...
I was gonna say, can I go up there?
Any man sighting an Akashic is to raise the alarm.
Yeah, that was pretty sad how they still threw rocks at when the kids were protecting and it hit them. It was crap on their part, the townspeople.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside?
Quiet.
Here we are.
We can't leave a single one alive.
Pardon me. Yep, here's a big guy. Ow. Oh, got the parry, nice. Another parry! Holy shit. So we're at 2 hours and there's still 4 or 5 left. And depending on the length, I could go over 3 hours. But then I have to make a decision. Do I stop again after 3 and thing, or do I tough it out and still do it no matter the length? Nice.
The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalimil and see how the others fared.
Itch.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
The last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Clive has returned.
Yeah, sorry, hit the mic.
Clive! What news from Charatina?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
We bloody did it!
We saved Dalimil.
Lubor, allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalimil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalimil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalimil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat?
Special hat? It'd be funny if his head is the thing for the chambers.
How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubo, about the children.
Fear not, you are of course relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalamel.
I'll do my best. Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
Boom. The signboard. Nice. And they opened up my mine trophy, okay? Three, plus I don't know how many more there. I don't think I'm gonna get it done if the fucking reading table keeps fucking happening. See how many's at the reading table. Here's the signboard. And there's the helmet there. Nice. So missing 2, 4, missing 5 now. How many are here? 1. Oh, it's Joshua. Priceless.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Yeah, I'm starting, really starting to think I can't do it. That I'll have to cross over again to next time, do the last few, then straight to the end next time.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
True. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
Squeaky couch, because it's fucking thing, but anyway. 2 where we need to go here again. So it's not far. Here be Rosfield's trophy. Nice. Getting all the trophies today.
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but... it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone in the backyard? To the hideaway, then.
We were just there. Oh, again. Back we go.
Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen her...
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
We know it's claimed Man's Hill.
Did you learn where we might find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrek.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilefeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go, then.
Then watch there be none there, then back we come for more information. Is there any others here? Okay, good. Oh, whoops, that's the shop.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Okay, so pretty much where the Prince of Death Hunt was. The exact spot.
Haven't seen any of those beastly blue eyes. Do be careful.
I will.
Ready, go?
And what I'll do with the final part is obviously from the moment I start, well, obviously I'll save at the end of this one. From the moment I start, I'll just do all of it.
Meadows are vast.
Uh-huh.
Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
And then if the usual happens at the end of the game, then I can just restart the streamload back to where I was, go through it again and have the music down. So I have a backup plan. But so far things have been fine.
And our friends. What do you see, boy?
Oh, Minotaur, lovely.
Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
Oh, it's not a Minotaur, it's Ollie something bull. Ollie Fist. It's right on the edge. I don't want a Thanatos situation. More. Dogs. Ow. Oh. Haha. Nice. Slowly getting there to 49. Got a Minotaur main.
That was harder than I expected.
Then the flowers are trampled. No.
But Founder, it was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
And she's in the chambers. On the balcony.
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill Or try to.
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
Aw, there we go. Nice.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
In my chambers.
Thank you,
As
Clive,
weird as it sounds.
for this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
That was nice.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
I know I said I wanted to do all the side quests today, but none of the others can beat that one. That's a nice side quest to end off on. I'm going to do the last ones tomorrow in a very short video stream thing, and then I'll do another one tomorrow. Do two. I'll do just the side quest, tiny one, then another one, all the end bit, just big bulk last thing. That's what'll happen. That's the plan, because nothing can beat that end. That ending was beautiful. Touching. Got another kissing. Jill has joined Clive's party and will be with him until departing for Origin. So now I've got both. Maybe. No. Okay. Alright. So, yeah, I'm going to end it there. I don't know how short of a one it'll be for next time. Let's see if there's any others in the reading board. Appears to be no, so we'll do the last three tomorrow and then another one where we wrap things up. So until then, catch us later. Bye!